And I think that when you walked in those doors the first time, you got a feeling that Christ lived here.
Gloria Dei is definitely a family.
And we liked the mission church, the feeling that you have in a mission church. It's a special feeling.
I felt wonderful kinship with the people of Gloria Dei.
And I felt at home the minute I walked in, so I knew this was home for me.
The second time we visited, we were greeted by name, and that very next week we were visited by the pastor, Eugene Anderson, and that pretty much clinched it. This was definitely the place for us.
We tried, a couple other places, and this just felt like home. The people were very friendly, and we really
I love this place. This is my home.
In 1967, Central Lutheran Church in Portland, Oregon agreed to finance a mission in Alderwood Manor, Washington. Gloria Dei's first services were held at Hazelwood Elementary School.
First recollection is meeting at the gym at Hazelwood Elementary. Dad setting up the chairs, some of the men setting up the chairs, and having a curtain that divided the gym, and then the nursery was on the other side of the curtain.
It was small. It was very small. Everyone knew everyone else. Before we had the church built, we met in a school up the road.
Ground for the Gloria Dei facility was broken in September of 1967. Pastor Eugene Anderson was installed and Gloria Dei was organized under the ALC North Pacific District with 149 baptized members on December 10th, 1967. The facility was finished and dedicated on April 21st, 1968.
You didn't need a microphone with Pastor Anderson. You heard him. And he was just full of joy.
Pastor Eugene Anderson was making visits at that time, and he stopped past our house, and I thought, oh, now here is just really a nice pastor, and I would like to visit his church.
He was very personable. I remember waiting in my backyard one day down on my hands and knees, and I heard a voice and I looked up and there was Eugene Anderson hanging over my back fence. That was just the kind of person he was.
By 1974, Gloria Dei was a self-sustaining congregation and officially separated from the Board of American Missions. In the summer of 1976, Pastor Eugene Anderson accepted a letter of call to another church. Olaf Anderson was interim pastor from September to April. Gloria Dei issued a letter of call to Pastor J. Bernard Bredheim, and he arrived in April of 1977.
Ben was fun to work with. He was pretty happy-go-lucky most of the time, unless he decided that he was right about something. He could be very stubborn. But if he was wrong, he was the first one to say, I'm sorry, also.
I always remember in the old sanctuary, which had red carpet at that time, when I first got here, there were two footprints by the pulpit, which would be Ben's two footprints, and that would be Ben's spot. And I thought it was, of course, that carpet was old and needed to be changed, but those were Ben's shoes standing there in the carpet.
In September of 1980, ground was broken for an addition to the facility. The parish education wing was finished in April of 1981. As Gloria Dei continued to grow, the need for additional pastoral support became evident. On October 26, 1986, Pastor Gary Rothenberger was installed as a part-time associate pastor.
Gloria Dei was looking for additional staff at that time because I think they knew that they were in a position for growth, that they wanted to be able to minister to more people, and they really believed that having another pastor on board was the right thing to do. Ben was good to work with. I think our age difference was good. I think the age difference that we had, I think, was healthy for the congregation at that time. Eric Ellis started calling me the faster pastor, and that kind of stuck, and I think that was some comparison between Ben and I, but that was a good comparison. I think we worked well together for the 3 years that we were here. One of the reasons that I accepted the call was because they sent 4 people over to help move us, which along with Gary Forbes, semi and Jim Abbey's van and Roger Bowe and Tom Meeson, they did a great job moving us all over here in one day, which I was very grateful for. So that wasn't a part of the agreement, but they ended up doing that, and I thought that was really nice.
By September of 1987, Pastor Gary was full-time. Pastor Brettheim retired on December 31st, 1989. In October of 1990, the congregation of Gloria Dei installed a pitched roof on the education wing.
When we put the roof on the education building, which was, 10, 15 years ago, we did that ourselves and had a big crew here. We're putting the roof on, and it's great to see everybody just kind of working together, doing some outside framing and putting that roof on and saving ourselves some money, and just a lot of camaraderie and good spirit about that. And of course, in the process, a couple of holes were put in the education wing just because people stepped through the rafters, and then when it was all open, of course it rained. The heavens opened, and it must have rained inches and inches and inches and flooded the education wing. So we had to go back in there and repaint all the walls, but people were really good about it, very good spirited about it, but it kind of multiplied into a wider mess. And we just handled it really well, and lots of good people painting in their rubber boots, and it was a good kind of slice of Gloria Dei life and the kind of people we have here.
In 1996, Pastor Gary took a 6-month sabbatical, leaving Gloria Dei in the hands of intern Del Oliver. Since then, 4 other seminary students have interned at Gloria Dei. As Gloria Dei continued to grow, plans were set in motion for another addition to the existing facility. In the summer of 1999, construction began. In September of 2003, intern Jocelyn Carson arrived at Gloria Dei.
You know, I came here first as an intern, and that was a year-long internship as part of my seminary education. And I was warmly welcomed here as an intern. Felt like there were lots of places for me to get involved and become a part of this community. And so when my internship ended, I stayed here working part-time. And that also was a wonderful experience as I finished my seminary education. I think the possibilities for ministry here, working with Pastor Gary, was a great possibility for me. Being in a congregation that is vibrant and growing, where there is a decided lack of conflict, it was I think, an excellent place for a beginning pastor to learn how to be a pastor.
In 2005, Gloria Dei called Jocelyn Carson to be a part-time pastor.
I really like that virtually everything I do here is in partnership with the people of Gloria Dei.